It's important to be succinct and to have a good understanding of really what you want your program to produce. I don't think it's wise to try to make a program fit a funding category and try to turn it into something it isn't. So be honest about what your program is and what it does. Know your data. And also understand the finances related to your program so that you can give good financial information about your program and its cost effectiveness. I think it's critical to know your program inside and out. Who you serve, why you serve them, what you accomplish by serving them, and what it costs you to serve them.
We don't create outcomes or information solely for the application. It's a living, breathing document that we work by. And because we do that, it's not hard to find the information. We have that data sitting there when we're ready to do it. We basically go back and look at, were we successful? Where are we this year? And if we aren't hitting numbers that we want or that we've told United Way we're going to do, when we go to do the new application, we ask ourselves why. What do we need to change? What do we need to do differently? But it's truly living the document versus it just being a form to turn in.
We certainly look at our data. We look at where we see the increases, where we see we need to have improvements, and what really worked. Where are our success stories? The amount of youth that we work with, and what are the percentages that we're seeing as far as their refusal skills go, and teen pregnancy rates, what's the risk of harm with these youth that we're working with. And then I just say, having regular meetings as far as, having a whole plan for your process of getting it done on time, and so it's not overwhelming and stressing you out. It's fine to call and ask for questions. We've done that with United Way, certainly. They're very accessible as far as understanding what they really want to hear. And just really planning your site visit as well the whole time, thinking about how are you going to demonstrate that and answer their questions throughout the whole application process.
Never stop reviewing your application. You don't just do this once a year. You do this all year long. You're constantly looking at your application. You're constantly looking at your goals. You're constantly looking at where you are. You're constantly seeing where you need to make change. And by the time that the new application comes out, you already know what challenges you met last year. You know what changes you need to make in order to be successful for the following year.
So just ask a lot of questions and don't be afraid to put out there what you're unsure about. I think as far as the panel review goes, this year our panel I think went really well because I brought in my case manager. So it wasn't just me, and we're a small agency, and so I know a lot about the direct service, but she's in it every day, and so I brought her in because I really needed her to tell the story. And she was able to share what she does with a case from beginning to end, and I think she really made it very real for the volunteers so they could understand kind of the heart of what we do.
I think a couple things that we've, again, sort of gotten better at is really looking at keeping that big picture in mind and that big goal in mind, and sort of like I mentioned before, but really looking at all the little things that we're collecting data on. Are they really important, and are they really getting us to that big goal or not? And so we sort of had to weed out some things and then really take a look at what's missing. And so when we realized that we didn't have data on how kids were going to do on this PALS assessment until they got to age 5, and we didn't want to wait until then, we knew we had to put something in place. And so making sure, again, that everything sort of aligns within that was a big piece. And within our application, we sort of kept things very categorized as well, too. So because we have these 4 action team areas and 4 focuses within Smart Beginnings, all of our outcomes were organized within those 4 areas, and so it was very easy to sort of follow that these are the things related to early education, these are the things for parent education, and when we put that in, we sort of did them in order, again, so that it was clear to see where the outcomes aligned as well. And then probably the last piece was really looking at, again, are our collaborations true collaborations? We didn't just want names of organizations that we're going to say they might work with us, but really those people that are really engaged, that come to our meetings and are sharing in the responsibilities and really highlighting that in our application.
what I try to do in our site visit is put people in front of them. The application process is all about numbers and information and priorities, and I try to put faces on that information when they're here for the site visit, because regardless of what the program is, the end result is what difference we can make in the lives of the people we serve through that program.
A lot of times, community members think of all kinds of questions or ideas that I've never thought of. When you're in the program every day, you don't necessarily have the same view, the same questions, or wonder the same things as somebody looking from the outside. So we take those questions and take them and look at, okay, from the outside, what does our program look like? Is it meeting the need? Is it doing what the community thinks it does? And answering those questions not only helps clarify for the volunteers what's going on, but it helps us as staff clarify, are we putting our emphasis where we need to? So I think it's critical that the day-to-day line staff are involved in that process so they know United Way knows them. And then we also bring clients in so that they can look at not only what have I done in the program, but where am I now that I'm out of the program? And I think that gives that human face, that feel of reality to the program, to the volunteers.
I know I could talk about the program because I'm passionate about it, and I think that comes through as sincere, and people kind of want to see it in action then. So to have the site visit there as the program's going on, and to pull in a student who's been in the program, not even just that year, but hopefully for multiple years, which is part of why it fits with the impact as far as education goes. We want to show that these youth have experienced something where they see the value of the program, so they'll do the talking of it as well.
One of the ways is to give an overview of the program, of course, and then have students to come in and let them see if they can let the interviewers experience the challenges that they had. Sometimes it's rather heart-wrenching when you understand what some of the students have been through in order to get where they are. Some it's heart-wrenching and a struggle for us to get them there. But what we want them to understand is the entire concept.
We tour the entire facility. We talk with them through the whole thing. We explain what every area is for and how it all works together for our program. Our whole program is open. You can ask any question. Nothing is off limits. And I think that the volunteers really appreciated that. And we're not afraid to be challenged with questions. You know, why do you do it this way? And if it's not something that's occurred to us, then maybe it'll make us think twice. I think that being open and not being afraid to change the way you do things or to be challenged on what you do, it's not a bad thing, and I think it just makes us better.
Smart Beginnings isn't a specific location. I mean, I have an office, but a lot of what we do is out in the community. And so it was really important for our site visit to get a feel for the child care center piece of what we do and how we work, but also the bigger picture of how we work with parents and how we do teacher workshops and some of our public engagement pieces. So I used the Q&A. I picked a location that I felt like gave them a bigger picture of what we did so they could sort of see a training facility and a child care center all at once. And then I used our website and really sort of highlighted some of the pieces that they wouldn't see in the application, although I mentioned having a website, but I really wanted them to get a feel for what would the public see and how would this tool be useful. And so I highlighted some of our social media and our website videos and pieces like that, and just sort of gave them sort of, to me it feels like the site visit is the chance to give life to the paper application, and so to share that excitement and for them to really get to see the people and get to see what Smart Beginnings is what that's all about.
Hello, I'm Diane Kelly, Executive Director of Mental Health America of Roanoke Valley, and I live United.
Hello, I'm Jo Nelson, Assistant Director at TAP This Valley Works. I'm here representing Virginia Cares, and I Live United.
My name is Sarah Jane Lawrence with the Teen Outreach Program at Family Service of Roanoke Valley, and I Live United.
Hello, my name is Ron Jones, and I am the Program Manager for the Center for Educational Opportunity at TAP This Valley Works, and I Live United.
My name is Allie Hammond Moore. I'm the Executive Director at Trust House. We're a homeless shelter for families, individuals, and veterans, and I Live United.
My name is Chris Myers. I'm Program Manager for Smart Beginnings Greater Roanoke, and I Live United.
you.